This is pool-plaza.com. Today we're going to talk briefly about the basics of water testing. We have other information on the website and in other videos about conditions to look for that need to be tested. But today we're going to actually look at the test kits, some of the alternative methods of testing, and what type of testing you need to do to keep your pool in good condition. The most common type of test kit is the one that uses liquid reagents. Most people that have pools are familiar with this type of test kit. This particular test kit has the full range of tests that would normally be done when a pool technician comes to your pool. Chlorine, pH, alkalinity, calcium, and cyanuric acid. Another very popular testing method is the use of test strips, which is less laborious than using the liquid reagents and also gives you just as accurate a reading. Test strips normally come with anywhere from 2 to 5 different test methods on them. This particular test strip includes a large color chart so that you can match the color results from your test strip and get an accurate reading of conditions in the pool. Another method to use test strips is with a test strip reader. If you have problems matching the colors or can't see the colors well, you can get a test strip reader. You insert the test strip into the reader after you've dipped it into the pool water, and you can get a reading on this particular one for chlorine, pH, and alkalinity, and it is completely accurate without a need to interpret the colors on the chart. We'll first test for chlorine using the small side of the comparator. Put pool water into the pre-measured line. Then we add 5 drops of the number 1 reagent. And 5 drops of the number 2 reagent. And then we'll be able to match the color that appears with the colors on the chlorine chart in this first column and get a reading of how much chlorine is in the water, which at this point looks about between 0.5 and 1 part per million, which is a little low. We'll now check the pH in the large comparator tube. We put water in there up to the 44 milliliter mark, and we'll use the number 4 reagent, putting 5 drops in. From this comparison, it appears that the pH is close to the upper limit, about 7.6. In this test kit, you'll notice that everything is color-coded, and on the instructions, the color coding matches the tops on the reagent bottles. All the tests are very carefully explained step by step, step number 1, 2, and so on, and if you follow these steps exactly, you should have no trouble getting a complete water test and accurate results that you can then use to make adjustments to your pool. The yellow, again, are the chlorine tests. The red are the pH tests. The green are the alkalinity tests. The blue instructions are the calcium tests. And the white is the cyanuric acid test. Cyanuric acid is the substance that is needed in a pool to allow the chlorine to stay in the water rather than evaporating or escaping from the water almost as soon as it's made. Following these instructions and getting your readings, You can then go to charts that can be found on many websites, including the pool-plaza website, to determine if your readings are within the acceptable level, and if not, what you need to do to adjust the chemicals so that they are acceptable and that your pool is in good chemical condition. In addition to the test kit, the test strips, and the test strip reader that we showed you at the beginning of the video, there are other types of testing devices available depending on how thorough you want to be in your testing, how automatic you want it to be, and how much money you're willing to spend on the testing device. All of them should give you accurate readings of the current chemical conditions in your pool. When you're testing a residential pool, testing should be done about once a week unless there's some unusual problem with the water. When you're doing a regular test, you should test for the free chlorine, combined chlorine, cyanuric acid, pH, alkalinity, and calcium levels. Normally, in a residential setting, those are the only things you need to check, and you do need to check them regularly, even if the water looks clear and good. If you have a salt chlorine generator on your pool system, you also need to test the salt level, even though the salt chlorine generator may tell you what the salt level is. Sometimes that reading may not be accurate, and you need just to check it with a manual salt test. Occasionally, when you have other kinds of problems with your pool, you may need to test for other conditions or chemicals in order to determine what to do about the problem with the pool. Some of the other tests that may have to be done are for total dissolved solids, phosphates, sequestrants, copper, and iron in your pool. Most of these tests are not tests that you would buy and conduct yourself, but they can be conducted by a pool store or other location that does pool water testing. Pool Plaza sells a variety of test kits, test strips, and electronic testing devices to help you keep up with the needs of your swimming pool. If you want to buy one of these items and are not sure which one you need, feel free to call us or email us, and we can help you make that decision. We're at pool-plaza.com. You can email us at info@pool-plaza.com, and you can call us at 214-221-6900. In addition to the information that we presented here, we also have an online pool school which has information about water chemistry to help you get started.